Hi, thanks so much for joining me and welcome to Vlogmas. So we do videos more often in the month of December every year. I think I've done one every day in the past. That's a lot. So I will post more than often and I'll post a short for every day I don't have a video. So make sure to check out the shorts. Throughout this month, I'll be highlighting things that I love. But today I have a gift guide for you. And this is a gift guide for those that are hard to buy for. And I think I am probably one of the hardest people to buy for, so I actually fall into each 10 of these categories. So starting with the first category, the minimalist. This is where my husband and I fall. We are trying to purge, we are trying to declutter. We don't need anything else. In fact, I know this is a challenge for our family members because they know we are trying to declutter. So as a minimalist, I really feel like no gift is good, but I know some people feel compelled to give a gift. So a really obvious one is to donate to a charity or a cause you know that person supports. But if you do want to get them something, things that are consumable are great ideas. So I looked online and I saw some really interesting gift box, subscription box ideas, and they come from Williams-Sonoma. And I actually compiled these so that they are in categories. So they will be shoppable stores, and I'll put an image of what I'm talking about so I can compile some resources for you and you can shop them. I can also update them and add if I see something interesting to add to it. So if you look on my channel and you go to store, you'll see that there are various categories and you can see. So let's look at the one for the minimalist. So these are subscription boxes. I'll put some images here. For instance, Williams-Sonoma has this 6-month cheese and charcuterie subscription. This includes 1 month picnic in the park and cheese charcuterie collection. So it tells you what each month has and you can read about them. I think that's a great idea because that's definitely a consumable, especially for someone who entertains. It's great to have those things on hand. There's also a coffee subscription service that I found. It's a personalized coffee match roasted to order, and there are some flexible plans so you can choose. So there's a 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, or 12 month service on that one. So depending on the price point you want to go for. Also, I like this one. So we love to send greeting cards, and this is a 6-month greeting card subscription, and these are customized cards, it says. Customized subscription, 3 cards each month. Also, if you know someone who likes a certain type of sport, I found something that's a 12-pack or 6-pack golf lesson for adults. So that's definitely not something that will clutter anything, but if you know they love that sport, I think that's a great thing to gift because they'll enjoy it. You know, they're already spending their time doing that, so I think that's a really great idea. Also magazines. I feel like magazines are a lost art. Everything is digital now, but magazines just have a different feel to them. I feel like it's a slower pace. I still look forward to reading a magazine on the plane or on vacation. It is more relaxing for me to read and look at images in a physical magazine. So there are magazine subscriptions that are available. I think it's actually kind of a novelty now. There are some park passes. So if you know someone loves the outdoors, you can get those through REI. I noticed they had those like annual Northwest Forest Pass. They have an America the Beautiful Pass. So I think that is a unique gift that doesn't take up any space. This one does take up space, but it's small. So there's a succulent. There's a 12-month I see here. There's a 3-month. Succulents are very small, so that might be a really nice gift. Or they also do have plant subscription boxes, which I also like. And though it takes up space, it is a living plant. So to me, that doesn't take up space. I still would happily have more plants in the house. I really like that idea. So that is for the person who is the minimalist. So either something consumable or an experience, I think is a great idea. The next category is the person who has everything. And I also feel like I fall in that category. I recently talked about, I don't need anything. I think I've purchased pretty much everything I've wanted to. There are a couple of wish list items, but really I've been able to try and purchase most of what I've already wanted to. So for this person, personalized gifts I think are great. And I found some really unique personalized gifts. This one is under the custom gift ideas. Always toiletry cases. I know I have a lot of them, but I don't have any that are personalized as far as I can think. But I really liked this one at Mark & Graham. In fact, they have a lot of items that you can personalize. I think that's always unique. Personalized stationery. I remember getting personalized stationery in the 4th grade. My mom went to a stationery party. She had these embossed for us. They were really nice and I still remember that. And I think the art of writing letters, writing cards is getting kind of lost, and I think it's much more appreciated now because it's so rare. So I think to have your own paper and stationery to write on is very special. In fact, I have a lot of ideas I found here from Mark & Graham that are in this little store. Personalized books. So if you have children in these families, you can get books personalized with their names. I'll put a couple here that I saw that I thought were really cute. I don't know what the lead time is on those, so if it's too short, maybe keep that in mind for another occasion throughout the year. I think that's a really great idea. And then this idea, I actually got this from a friend. They did this for their wife. They got a portrait made of them. Actually, this portrait, I couldn't find the one they were using, but they had their portraits done in different styles, like in the style of Van Gogh, in the style of Monet. These, though, are different custom portraits. And I see there are different styles, like some are more cartoon-like, some are more, actually this one looks like maybe Rembrandt. So depending on the person's style, I think you can customize a portrait of either them or someone they love or a pet they love. Such a great idea. Then also customized jewelry, monogram jewelry, anything that's got an initial on it, I think is a really great idea. The Perfectionist, and I don't think I'm a perfectionist, but I definitely know I have perfectionist people in my life. They have very high standards and specific tastes. Like this is a person who loves a perfect white t-shirt, and that's what they love. They want a whole closet of the perfect white t-shirt. This person really enjoys quality over quantity. So if you're looking for something like that, you want to find the best of the best. So there are some lovely things like fine jewelry. I think a fine jewelry piece, a great layering necklace, something that's solid 14K, 18K. Fine jewelry is always timeless, and if you get a classic piece, you can always layer it with something or add a pendant to it. I think that's always a really safe bet. So any birthstone jewelry, anything that would represent their birth month. I think necklaces are safer because you don't have to size those like you would have to a ring. Bracelets are also a really good idea. Earrings, you got to think, are they pierced? What kind of earrings do they have? So I always think necklace is a really good one to go with. Oh yeah, and there should be some shopping tabs popping up for you showcasing these items. You can click on them, expand it, look at the item, keep listening to the video. You can click back on the video and then the video expands again. So if you want to give it a try, you can try that now, see how that works. If you don't like that feature, I think you can always click on the little like dots and it should dismiss it. Also, something like a really nice wallet. It's harder to go wrong with a wallet versus trying to select a bag because of the color, the style, all of these variables that the perfectionist might really have in mind. But I think a very nice wallet that is high quality is always valued, because for me, that's going to be the last thing that I spend on when it comes to my purse. And then if I have different bags, I want to be able to interchange this wallet with other bags. So I put down there some really nice Bottega Veneta wallets, and then Mont Blanc as well. Very classic, understated. I also have these Mont Blanc pens, which are really beautiful. So I feel like, yes, there are so many pens, but if you have a Mont Blanc pen, you're going to keep track of it. You're going to know where it is. You're going to enjoy the experience of writing with such a beautiful pen. So I think something like that, even though they probably already have 100 pens. So if they are looking for quality over quantity, a pen like this is definitely going to fulfill that criteria. Also, gift cards. Sometimes it's just easier to let that person pick what they want because they like what they like and they know what they want. We've got Anthropologie with some different price points, and Bloomingdale's also has gift cards. So make sure to check out those if you are interested in letting someone select their own gift. Also, a timeless scarf is a great idea. I really like this Burberry one because it is Burberry, but you can't tell necessarily that it is because it's blue and gray. It's such a lovely color. The only thing that really signals this is Burberry is the design itself, and because it's plaid. But other than that, this is kind of an if you know, you know. But this is really a beautiful mist blue scarf. Next up, we've got the Techie. This person's especially difficult to shop for because they already are up with all of the latest in gadgets. So anything that I might think is the latest is probably not the latest. They probably already have it, and they're usually quite selective. So I do have a list for those who are techies. I saw these Anchor products in person and they're very high quality, and I really liked these docking stations where you could charge multiple things at a time. If they're a techie, they have all of these gadgets that need charging, and it's really nice to have them consolidated in one place. And my guess is they probably have multiples, like multiple earbuds, multiple watches, etc. So if they already have a docking station, a charging station for these, another one probably wouldn't hurt, or they would want to take it with them when they travel. Also, any power bank, anything that can power a laptop, a phone. Even though they have these devices, I know a common issue is that things run out of battery power. So having backups, having power banks is really handy, and something that's universal that can be used with whatever device they have. Making sure it has multiple ports, things like that, where you can maybe charge more than one item at a time, I think is a really good idea. And then earbuds, because my guess is if they're a techie, they're always attached to some kind of device. So having one for the home, having one for the office, having one for the travel bag probably would be a good idea for them. So they're ready to go and they are ready to be set up with their devices wherever they are. Also, organizational tools, because again, if they have a lot of equipment, if they have a lot of gadgets, it'll be nice to corral them all in one place. So I found some organizers that might come in handy. But I personally would avoid trying to get the latest and greatest because, again, if they love technology that much, they probably already have it. And these accessories would support all of the tech that they already have. This one I'm going to call the next one is the practical person. I think my parents fall into this category. They see most gifts as wasteful, and we definitely want to, and that's me. I don't like to waste in general, but I definitely don't want to give wasteful gifts. So I'm very aware of that when I gift anybody a gift. I don't want it to be wasted. I want it to be really useful. So these are the gifts for the practical person. So the idea is to get more pragmatic items for this person. This person might really appreciate tools that are organized into a case. And I found one that's organized into a case on wheels. It looks almost like luggage. But I really like this because you can move this around to anywhere you need to be working. You don't have to lift it up, and everything is self-contained. All of these other toolboxes are also self-contained that you'll see in here. Almost a 400-piece tool set with wheels and a handle. So I really like that. It looks like it's easy to store. Another thing, this solves the problem of finding keys. This is a key tracker. They can put on their keys so they're easily located. And I don't know anyone who never is asking where their keys are. I hear that phrase, where are my keys? Where's my phone? A lot. So I think this would come in really handy for anyone. And then anything that's like a smart outlet where they can control it, or an outlet with a timer, especially if they travel, that's a really good idea, where they can turn on lights on a timed basis or be able to control them remotely. I think is also a really great gift. And then especially for the car lover, I think a car detailing kit is a good idea. I know my husband would love something like this. He really enjoys cleaning his car, making sure it looks nice, detailing it. And I know he would appreciate something like this. Oh, and then I really want to get this for my parents. They actually are in the many categories where they say they don't need anything. They actually would like us to donate to a charity, which we will. But I still want to get them something. And I think this is something they talk about a lot, is the temperature. They talk about it's too hot, but they only want to cool off a small part of the house, like where they're sitting, or it's too cool and they want to heat up a certain part of the house, but not the whole house. So I really like this idea. This is I saw this when I was looking at all these Shark. The Shark has been sending me a lot of things. They have not sent me this, but I'm really interested. It's a bladeless fan and heat. It's the Turbo Blade. So I thought this was interesting because you can really focus it. It's a heater and a fan at the same time, so it kind of solves both of those issues for them. So I really like this idea. They also have this, which is good for the summer, and I'm thinking good for us, but it's a mist. It says indoor outdoor, but I'm assuming it's better for outdoor. Pro Mist indoor outdoor pedestal and table fan with water tank. It's a portable misting system. So depending on where you live, because I noticed restaurants that have misters and fans, it really cools down nicely. So I like that idea. So I definitely think my parents fall into this category. Okay, the Fashionista, and style is very personal. So I think this is one of the trickiest people to shop for, but what I think is timeless and works for anyone who loves fashion, loves style, is a book about a designer. So for instance, I found some really great coffee table books that focus on Prada, YSL, Chanel. In fact, there's this really lovely one about Chanel. This one is the Impossible Collection, and it's a hardcover book. It has the 100 most emblematic designs of the house Chanel, showcasing images from the world's foremost photographers, museums, and collections. This one looks really beautiful. I mean, any of these actually are quite beautiful. Dior's another one, Gucci, depending on the designer. So many to choose from, different price points as well. I even found one about Hermes if you're interested. So make sure to check those out, because I think you can get inspiration from images like that, and plus it's such a beautiful book anyway. I think it's a really safe bet for fashion lovers. This one I'm going to call the hard to figure out, because they don't communicate what they like. So the person who doesn't communicate, I think something that's going to be universally appreciated fits into this category. I found some nice neutral ones. In fact, I really liked this one. It's a really simple plaid throw. You have lots of neutral colors to choose from. There's one for Mark and Graham you can get personalized, so you can go back to Mark and Graham for that. And I know we talked about plants in the subscription section. That's also a great gift for one plant at a time. If you just want to give one plant, there are lots of options there. So something just to make the everyday experience nicer, like a beautiful throw or a lovely plant. This one is for those people who love hobbies, and particularly those who go from hobby to hobby to hobby. So it's like the hobby hopper. So I found some really fun things that they could try, because I actually fall into this category. I like to try out different hobbies and see which ones stick. We've got some things like knitting. If they've never knitted before, there are kits like beginner knitting kits where everything is self-contained and you can kind of get a feel for the hobby, whether you want to continue doing that and invest in it or not. There's also lots and lots of kits for beginning painters, whether you want to use acrylic paint or if you want to use watercolor paint. There are smaller or larger sets. I think those are great ideas. In fact, I've mentioned I would like to paint a little bit more when I have more time. There are pottery kits. It looks like a lot of fun, but also I'm not even quite sure what goes into pottery. So having a kit like that to help just give me the simple points and what's important and give it a try. There are drawing kits if someone likes drawing. I really enjoy drawing. I don't have any drawing materials anymore. So having a kit like that, or even calligraphy. I think calligraphy is a great skill to have. And again, there are a lot of little bits and pieces that you could start out with, but to have it all in one spot is really nice to get a feel for what that hobby might be like before expanding. And then crocheting. I think crocheting seems to be popular now, so I found this really cute beginner crochet set, and it looks like little succulents. It's very sweet. And so I really like these kits that come out with a product at the end. And then I know there are those in our lives who are very sentimental, and the things that they receive they want to keep. And so I actually am that person. I remember who gave me what when. I always want to make sure that I hold on to it. So I really am careful about giving things to people like that, because I don't want them to hold on to something that I gave them that takes up a lot of space. The perfect gift for this kind of person is a keepsake box or a memory box. I really like this because I use things like the advent calendar from Revolve. I use that to keep notes in. I use other boxes to keep pictures in, but I think to have a designated box for things like special cards or dried flowers from an event. I still have the flowers that I wore for our wedding. I still have those. Those are dried. So I keep sentimental things, and how nice would it be to keep these in a beautiful box? So there's this lovely one. I found this at Nordstrom. It's a tuxedo memory box. It looks so beautiful. All of their items look really nice. So that one, they're not all that price point, but you can find something like, you can find things at Etsy, you can get them personalized. Some even have like wedding written on them or memories. It depends on their style, but also if it can be something beautiful they would put in their home on display, because then it becomes something to decorate with as well. Not just a keepsake box or memory box, but something they can put on display. And then lastly, we have the eco-conscious. And I actually am this person also. Think about the impact I have on the world when it comes to consuming. So if you know someone like that, or maybe for yourself, I thought there were some really great ideas when I started researching this. So one of the things I thought was interesting are these pencils that are also seed, like they contain seeds. So when you use the pencil all the way up, you plant what's left and it's seeds and then a plant grows. I love that. They're also reusable cotton pads if you want to, because I use cotton pads and I throw them away, but you can buy ones that are reusable. You can wash them and reuse them again and again. Oh, that reminds me, I brought this because I realized that this is not only an eye mask, this one, it's a forever eye mask. Am I holding that right? Oh, sorry. It's a forever eye mask, and I didn't really understand what it was until I read about it. It says you can apply eye cream or serum under the eye and then apply the eye mask on top of that and leave it. And then when you're done, you remove the eye masks and wash with mild soap and warm water, and you dry them and put them back to store. So they look like this. So if you know someone, I was wondering, like, why are there only two? It's because you reuse them. So this is what they look like any eye mask, but you can turn any of your serums or creams into a mask by applying it and then applying this on top. And then you wash them and then put them back. So anything I can do to help create less waste is something that I work towards every day and want to continue doing. So I hope I was able to help you think of some ideas to help with gift giving, and today being Cyber Monday, I hope some of these things are on sale. I'll also be listing the stores for you where you can look at the list of compiled items for each category if that would help. I hope those lists are helpful to you. Let me know if they were, if you got any ideas. I'd love to know. And if you have any ideas for any of these categories or other categories that you think are more challenging to shop for, please let us know. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time. It gives you a summary of what it's all about. 6 months of cheese and this